What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, man. And in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you guys the best center build that you can make in 2K25. Now, I've dropped my center builds in the past this year, but this one is a bit different. This build gets a 93 block. It can shoot from anywhere on the court. It gets legend rebounding badges with a 99 rebound. And the strength, finishing, and passing on this build are absolutely insane. So real quick, man, before we hop right into the builder, make sure to like, subscribe, turn the post notifications on. We're on the grind to 75,000 subscribers, and you could help us get there. But hey, man, without any further ado, let's jump right into this build. And all right, man, to start this build, you're going to want to start and create your own. You don't want to use Pro Tune, NBA, community builds. You want to make your own. And now, of course, the names, handiness, and jersey number, it's all personal preference. It won't change how your build plays. Do whatever you want. But now for your position, obviously you want to go with center. We're making a center build, so obviously we're going to go with center. Our height is going to be 7 feet tall. Now, if you want, you definitely could go a little bit higher than this, but the reason I went with the 7-foot height is because it allows you to keep all of that mobility. You get all the speed. You can switch on to guards to be able to guard them. You're able to guard anyone on the court. In my opinion, 7 feet is the perfect height, whether you're playing rec, pro-am, park. It doesn't matter what you're playing. 7 foot, in my opinion, is the perfect height on this build. However, if you do want to go a little bit higher, you definitely can. Your weight, I would absolutely copy this down to the dot. Your weight, you're going to want to go with 258 pounds. I specifically went with this weight because I tested out a bunch of different weights to be able to get all the attributes that you want, ranging from the three-pointer, finishing, rebounding, interior defense, all of that. Strength, 258 pounds is the perfect weight that I found, so I would definitely go with that. I wouldn't change it. Your wingspan, you're going to want to go with 7'2". And the reason for that is because I made sure it went hand in hand with that weight. Once again, so you're able to get the exact 3-point rating that you need to be able to get all the badges you want. The rebounding, the finishing, the blocking, the passing, all of that with the 72 wingspan, you're able to get perfectly. And if you're wondering or worrying that it might be a little bit too low, I promise all the attributes that you get are perfect on this build with a 7'2" wingspan. And just the look of longer arms won't change how the build plays. So the fact that you have all the attributes that you need is definitely going to be perfect. So 7'2" wingspan, 258 pounds. Your height is going to be 7 foot and a center position. Those are the perfect physicals that I found for this build. And now moving on to the attributes, we're going to start out in the finishing category. The first thing you want to upgrade is your close shot. We're going to bring this all the way up to a 79. And what that is going to do is it's going to allow you to get paint prodigy, which is going to make it a lot easier for you to score in the paint. You're going to get float game on silver. And once we upgrade our post control and stuff like that, our hook specialist badge is going to go up to silver as well. So if you're doing post hooks or anything like that, you're going to be able to do those as well. Moving on to our driving layup and driving dunk, we're actually just going to skip over those for right now. Our standing dunk, we're going to bring this all the way up to an 81. And the reason for that is because once we upgrade our vertical, once again, our rise up badge is going to go up to silver, as well as our aerial wizard badge. That's going to go up as well. And what that's going to do, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to catch lobs. It's going to make it easier to get putbacks and stuff like that. And your rise up badge is it makes it a lot quicker and easier to do standing dunks in the paint. It doesn't matter if there's defenders in the paint right by you, you're going to be able to get a standing dunk almost every single time. After our standing dunk attribute, we're going to bring up our post control all the way up to a 69. And once again, like I said, that's going to allow you to get hook specialist on silver, and it's also going to help you get post up poet on bronze. This isn't really a post up type of build. We're more of a pick and pop spot up shooter type of thing that also has incredibly good defense. But yeah, the main focus offensively, at least on this build, is definitely going to be on the shooting, which is why we're also only going to bring up our driving layup to a 35 and our driving dunk to a 55, because once again, our main focus offensively is going to be on finishing. And trust me when I say this, even with that 35 driving layup and a 55 driving dunk, the finishing in the paint is going to be more than enough, because once again, most of the time you're either going to be sitting in the corner and you're going to shoot those, obviously, but if you are in the rec or even in the park just setting screens and picking and rolling, most of the time what I do is I do a little pump fake and then either take the standing dunk or just the close shot, and I make it every single time. But please trust me when I say this, you don't have to worry about these attributes. I know they might seem low, but they are more than enough, especially when our focus of this build is mainly on shooting. Now after that, moving on to the shooting category, like I said, the main focus of this build is on shooting. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to max out our three-pointer. And the reason you want to go for exactly an 83 three-pointer, like I said, I perfectly made sure that the wingspan and weight was going to allow this. you want to go with an 83.3 because if you go any lower than that, you won't get the limitless range badge. And you want that because this is going to allow you to basically shoot anywhere on the court. It's going to make sure that you don't have to have your toes on the line to be able to shoot any threes. It's just going to give you a lot more wiggle room to be able to shoot from anywhere on the court. I'm able to shoot from hash even with only bronze limitless range on this build. And even just with the badge, this just allows you to get even a higher green window whenever you're shooting your threes. Now moving on to the mid-range, I'm just going to leave this at 73. If you're someone that likes to do a lot of post fades, mid-ranges, a lot of that, you could definitely upgrade this a bit more. But me personally, I found myself just doing pick and pop threes, standstill corner threes, standstill hash threes, or anything like that. So I felt like I didn't need much higher than a 73 mid-range. However, once again, if you want that, you definitely can. But I found that a 73 mid-range was more than enough to be able to shoot very consistently. I basically shoot lights out from the mid-range, even with just a 73. And you also get all the badges from your three-pointer to use when you're shooting those mid-ranges, so it makes it a lot easier to time them. Now for your free throw, I only upgraded this to a 61. It's mainly because I mainly play park and not too much rec. But even when I do play rec, I'm able to consistently shoot free throws. However, if you're someone that always plays rec or always plays pro-am, you could definitely upgrade this more to whatever you like. It's just I found that I didn't need it any higher than a 61. I'm still able to shoot just fine from the free throw line with it. Moving on to the playmaking, this is very important and one of my favorite parts about this build. We're gonna upgrade our pass accuracy all the way up to a 75. And the reason you want to go with a 75 is because if you don't, you lose break starter on silver. And what that is going to do is going to make it very easy for you to just grab a board on the defensive end and throw it down the court to your teammates that are always down there. It's going to make your passes a lot more accurate. It's going to make sure that you don't throw the ball out of bounds every time you do that. And it's going to make them a lot quicker as well. And not only that, but you also get dimer on silver, which makes it a lot easier for your teammates to time their shots whenever you pass to them. Now for the ball handle and speed with ball, I didn't upgrade this too much more than this. And the reason for that is because we're not really going to be dribbling on this build at all. However, if you guys do want a 7-foot center build that can dribble with the 70 ball handle, I do have a video for that on my channel. You could go check that out. But this build, I decided to use the attributes elsewhere, from block to rebounding to strength and all of that. So on this build, we're not going to upgrade these any more than this. Now moving on to the defensive attributes, the first thing you want to upgrade is your interior defense. We're going to bring this all the way up to an 82. And you're gonna see in just 1 minute, once we upgrade our block and vertical and stuff like that, these badges are gonna go up higher. Our paint patroller is gonna go all the way up to gold, and we're also gonna get post move lockdown once we upgrade our strength as well. And if you're wondering why we don't go past an 82, is because block actually matters more than your interior defense. So once we upgrade our block in just a minute, it's gonna make a lot more sense. But now for our perimeter defense, we're only gonna upgrade this to a 44. Now I know it doesn't seem like much, but this is gonna make it so if you do end up switching onto a guard, you're going to be able to keep up with them, especially once we upgrade our speed. But this is just going to allow you to get contests, be able to keep up with them, bump them, make sure they don't just run right by you. This is going to allow you to basically guard anyone on the court if you need to. And for our steal, we're only going to upgrade this one more to a 38. And the reason for that is because in a recent patch, they actually just nerfed the lane steals. So I didn't feel like I needed to waste any more attributes to get this higher when the lane steals aren't really that good anymore. Now for your block, this is one of my favorite parts about this build. We're going to bring this all the way up to a 93. Once again, like I said, you do end up getting gold paint patroller. And once again, if you drop this one, you don't end up getting it. So you want to go exactly with a 93 block. And I know high fly and denier doesn't show up right now, but once we upgrade our vertical and speed and stuff like that, that is going to go up. And what that badge does is it allows you to get all the chase down blocks and just blocks in general. With the 93 block and this high flying denier badge on gold, it doesn't matter who's going up with the ball, I'm able to stop it. But now moving on to the rebounding, man, this is one of my favorite parts about this build. Our offensive rebound, just take a look at it. It's at a 44 right now. We're gonna hold the right trigger, and we're just gonna max this out to a 99. And what that's gonna do is it gives us legend rebound chaser. And once we upgrade our strength, we're also gonna get legend box out beast as well. And now for our defensive rebound, we're gonna bring this up one to an 85. And the reason for that we're only going for an 85 is because with our offensive rebound, obviously we get those legend rebounded badges. So an 85 defensive rebound with legend rebounded badges is basically like a 99. But yeah, man, that is definitely one of my favorite parts about this build. Legend rebounding badges is absolutely insane. Our speed, we're just gonna max this out to a 67 because like I said earlier, the main reason we went with 7 feet tall for this build is because you want to be as mobile as possible. You want to be able to switch on to anyone. You want to be able to get those chase downs and keep up with anyone who has the ball. And at 7 feet tall, I feel like I'm flying around the court. Our agility, we're only going to bring that up 1 to a 48. I feel like it's more than enough, especially with our speed at a 67. Now for our strength, man, we're going to bring this all the way up to a 96. And the reason we're going for a 96 strength is because you're a center. There are a ton of centers this year with very high strength, so you're going to want to be able to keep up with them. You don't want to be able to just get moved around in the paint, whether you're on the offensive end or the defensive end. With a 96 strength, you're going to be able to hold your own. You're going to be able to keep people out of the paint, and you're going to be able to guard it a lot easier. And now for our vertical, we're going to use our last attributes on this. We're going to upgrade this to a 70, and what that's going to do is it allows you to get pogo stick on silver. It allows you to get rise up on silver, which is going to make it a lot easier to do standing dunks. High flying denier is going to go up with that. And then our aerial wizard is also going to go up with that as well. And that right there is going to do it for the build, man. 99 overall with all of those attributes. And with shades of Marcus Camby, Vucevic, and Walker Kessler, we have built a two-way board hunting stretch. That is definitely one of my favorite build names that is in the game. But hey, man, if you guys made it to this point and you guys want the best jump shot to use on this build, click the video on the screen. And of course, make sure to like and subscribe.